Good morning. How are you today? This is Jamie Fran Colors. I'm Jamie, and today is, I believe, Friday. And usually we color a picture, but today I need to get some tags done for the Christmas presents that I'm giving to family and friends, extended family and friends. And so I wanted to work on those, and I thought, well, I'll work on those, we'll film it, and you can see, maybe you'll get an idea of what you want to do. So I have made these ones, and I thought we'd make something similar. I want to try to make a little bit a textured effect on the edges. So this is kind of what we're going for, but it'll be a little bit more. So anyways, so I bought these tags at Michael's. And at first I'm just painting them with some white gesso. I'm using the Liquitex, the professional one. That's what I have for when I'm doing acrylic painting. You can get, Liquitex has like a student or a basic brand or whatever. I don't like that one because it's gritty. So I get the professional one because it's not gritty. But I think different brands make, I think Art Extravagance makes a gesso. I think you could also just paint these white with some white craft paint, but I'm using gesso. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna paint it white, and then we will use a napkin to put the design on it. And then we'll see if we can build up the edge with some texture paste, which is what I didn't do on the last batch. So yes. Anything I use I'll put in the description box down below, and hopefully with some links. So you can find it and know more what it is, but I'll do my best. No promises, because a lot of this I just got at Michael's, my local craft store. So sometimes it's fun to just walk around in there and get ideas, see what there is. Oh, this would be cute, or I don't know. Today is, for me, December 10th, which is a Monday, but I believe you're seeing this on Friday. I'm not too worried about the back right now. This board I have it on is like a reusable paint palette, and so all the paint washes off of it or can peel up, which is nice. I think I'm going to do another coat on these. I just wanted something to protect the surface of my table because I'm not ready to change it yet. It still looks pretty good, so I thought I'd try to save the integrity of it. Work on this. Are you making things for your family and friends, or do you buy things? What do you do? We have neighbors and such that we want to give a small gift to. So we went ahead and bought a treat that we really enjoy from Trader Joe's, which is not a hugely popular store where I am from. There's only one. And so we actually ordered it online. It's cookie butter. It's like peanut butter, but it tastes like gingerbread, kind of. I don't know. Anyways, so we're giving that to our friends with a tag and a little Merry Christmas. And then I have another close friend who comes and visits me and colors with me on occasion. We have kids about the same age, and so I got her a little something extra too, but I won't say that on here because she's apt to watch it. So I'm excited. All right, so I'm just putting a second coat on here, and then we'll get our design going. We have had a rough time trying to get our Christmas decor up. We didn't get, I have all these wooden penguins. They're quite big that I've made for the outside of our house out of like plywood and stuff. And usually we get them up, but it snowed really early this year in comparison to the last few years. And we didn't get them out before the ground froze, and now I am not strong enough to hammer them into the ground so that they'll stand up. And so I don't know. It's the 10th of December. I don't know if they're getting put up or not. My husband's off this weekend, and so he may try to get them into the ground, but I don't know if it's going to happen. And then we were gonna put our Christmas tree up last week while he was off work. He works like a week of 12-hour shifts, and then he has a week off. But then he picks up other shifts for a different company on his week off. Anyway, so when days he's working, he's gone until 9:30 at night. And so doing anything, you just can't. So anyways, he was off, and so we were gonna put up the tree and everything, and instead we've had problems with our master bathroom. The tub, if we fill the tub with water, it's a jetted tub, the jets don't work, and it floods into our basement. It starts raining in our basement, so we don't use that bathtub. We can shower in there, we just can't fill the tub. And that's been a problem for close to 3 years. It's just something we haven't gotten to. But it started dripping. Just a little drip. It's okay. The gasket, and it needed to be changed. Fine, so I YouTube it, try to figure out how to change the gasket. I'm like, okay, I can do that. So I tried taking it apart, and I cannot get to the gasket. There is this copper or bronze or whatever pipe covering it, and I cannot get to this dumb thing. And I try, and they're like telling me on the YouTube how easy it is to do this yourself, you know? I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, this is ridiculous that I can't get to this. I pride myself on being slightly handy with a screwdriver and power tools, and I can't get to it, and I'm getting frustrated. Talking to my husband, he's at work, and so he calls my neighbor. My neighbor comes over, and he's awesome. My kids love him. He's a great guy. He takes care of the neighborhood. He's just awesome, but he looks like this big gruff guy. Anyways, he's a sweetheart. But so my husband calls him, I see him coming over, and so I know exactly why he's coming over, even though. So he tries to take it apart, and he can't get it apart, and he is this big man, and he cannot get it apart, and he calls his son, who works in remodeling bathrooms, sends him some pictures, and says, you know, tells him what's going on, and his son says, you need to stop, you're apt to break a pipe behind it, and then they're gonna have to keep their water turned off until they get it fixed, and so you don't want to break the pipe. And so we stop and we let it drip for that week that my husband worked, and the drip continues to get worse. So by the time like my husband has a week off work, it is almost like a little stream of constant water that we are losing out of our bathtub. And I keep telling my husband, don't mess with it. We're trying to get, do some refinancing so we have the money to remodel that bathroom, get the tub out, fix the tap. and everything, but that takes, you know, several $1,000s to do, and so we have to wait for the bank to come back and say we can refinance in the way that we want to. So I'm like, leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it alone, but he can't. He is this guy, he can't. He thinks I can do something about this drip, you know, I can do something. And so I was like, fine, do what you want. You know, I've asked you several times, leave it alone. You're not going to listen, so just do what you want. So he watches more YouTube. He goes down to the plumbing shop and talks to them, and they're like, oh yeah, it's easy. You just need to take this and twist here and it will come off. And so he's like, all right, I got this, you know. So he comes home with the part he thinks he needs, and he twists it off and gets the part in that they told him he needed, and puts it in, and he's so proud of himself, and he turns the water back onto the house, and water is spraying across the room out of the pipes that are behind the surround for our tub. And so he turns the water off. He is like panicking because now we can't turn our water on because exactly what I was afraid of happening has happened. He has broken a pipe in the wall somewhere, and it is gushing out water out of our wall. And so he's completely panicked. I'm in there trying to figure out, like, where's the water coming from? What do we need to get to? So anyways, so we end up having to cut a hole in the surround of our bathtub. Our water's off this whole time, so there's not water gushing at us. We cut a hole in the surround, and we have to cut the pipes that have the water that comes from the cold and the hot, and we have to cut it and tap it off so that water can't spray out. And so now we have this gaping hole in our bathtub, and we have no water access to our shower or to our bathtub. Thank goodness we have another bathroom, and it's, you know, we have somewhere else we can shower. But it's just like this annoying thing, and it took all of our day, so we didn't get our Christmas tree up, and I don't know when the next opportunity is that we're gonna have to put it up. And my kids are starting to wonder, you know, has mom and dad completely lost their minds? Why has everybody else got their decorations up and we don't? It's just crazy. Anyways, if you had just listened, right? Left it alone. But our bathroom is no longer dripping. It's no longer wasting water. So maybe it was a good thing. I don't know. Don't tell him I said that. Because I had a nice I told you so moment. So I don't want to take it back. Alright, this is a napkin. And this has our little reindeers that we want to put on our tags. And I believe, so we ripped off the first layer, and I believe there is a second layer. So that's a three ply napkin, and so I want to get, yeah. So I want to get the third, separating it into 3 layers. There it is. Okay, so all we need is this patterned layer. Grab some scissors. There. Okay. So I have 8, so we need 8 reindeer. This gesso dries really fast, so I don't even have to wait for it to dry. It's pretty much dry. Alright, so each of those reindeers will sit in the middle of the tag, just like this one. And I think I want to put him on first before I build up the edges. I just think it'll work easier And I kind of want to use the reindeer in the middle of the napkin because the edge of the napkin does have some texture while the middle of the napkin is nice and flat. So I kind of want to get to these middle guys. I'm just going to cut in there. I've got a ton of napkins and I can do all of them with one napkin, so I'm not too worried about trying to get as much as I can out of one napkin. So we can kind of pick and choose. There's ones we like better than others. He's way cute, but he's not in the middle. Oh, there's one over here. Okay. So I'll just... If you tear them, they'll blend a little better, but I think where we're going to paint and build up the edge, it's not going to be an issue. And it's just easier to cut right now. Alright, so there's one. Set him there. So anyways, it's kind of the worst time of year to be trying to do all this. Like, the bank is taking their precious time, and I'm just afraid they're gonna like drag it out, you know, until the first of the year, and it's just annoying because you're like, we're stressed about it. We're like, what is going on? Every 2 days they need new paperwork from us, new information. We're like, why didn't you just ask for that the first time? It's just annoying. And in the meantime, we have a gaping hole in our bathroom. Which, I mean, it's fine. It's not hurting anybody, but it's just where we're those kind of people who like to just fix things and have things look nice, and it's just irritating to us. And it's like this reminder of anyway. Let's get some off of this side. Because I like him. He's cute. And then, so our neighbor, whose son does the bathroom stuff, his son came over with all of his things and helped us pick out what we want to do in our bathroom. Like what surround we want, what tub. And our tub is big in there because it is a jetted tub. It's like considered a garden tub or something. It's like 42 inches wide and 60 inches long. And so it's expensive to replace. But he did find a tub for us, and he did help us pick what we want to do and trying to give us as many discounts as he can. I think we have 2 of that kind, so let's take him off and we'll put this guy on. So they'll all be different. And so that's good, but he's just waiting, you know, they're just sitting there with that information, waiting. We're all just waiting on the bank, which is just silly. It's just silly, just annoying. Okay. Next, we want to take a matte medium. This is Golden Matte Medium. I know Liquitex makes one. I'm pretty sure Art Extravagance makes one. I know I have one by them. It's just a 3D, so it's extra thick. And this I want thin. So this is Golden Matte Medium. And I'm just going to use a paintbrush. You can use like a palette knife or a little spatula. I think I have one of those somewhere. What I want to do is I want to rub it on the tag, and then I'm going to put my guy down in it, lay it on top, and then I'm going to put it over. So I'm like making a matte medium sandwich, you know, with the napkin in the middle. So we're gonna get some matte medium, just a little bit, and we're just going to put it in the middle of our tag. And we're going to lay our napkin down in the middle, and these are supposed to look homemade, so I'm not too worried about if he's completely centered or... So he's stuck on there, and then I'm going to take some more matte medium and go over the top. And this stuff dries clear, so I don't have to worry it's gonna make it milky or anything. It's gonna dry clear. I do want to be as smooth as I can. And the napkin is delicate, so I don't want to go over it too many times. Just kind of want to get him on there and then let it dry. Goodness. Over there in the middle. Sorry. Let's stick our guy on there. Kind of smooth him out. And then take a little more. I'm going to start in the middle, kind of pull it to the edges. Okay, so we'll do that to the rest of them, and then I will be back. Alright, so these are dry. I've zoomed in a little bit, so they're on there, right? Pretty good. Matte medium is good. I went and rinsed my brush right away. I don't want to keep matte medium in my brush, so it's gone. Now I'm going to use, now we're going to try to build up the edge and give it a little texture. So this is a texture paste. It comes in, this is the Art Extravagance. Okay, so this is the Art Extravagance texture paste, and this is white sand. I know that texture paste comes with different textures, so this is just the one I have. I didn't want to buy anything extra, so this is what I'm using. Art Extravagance texture paste, and it is just like it seems. It's like goopy, sticky, and then it dries solid and it feels like it has sand in it. So I think if we're gonna put this, kind of build up the edges with this and let it dry and set, and then we'll paint it. So that's the goal here. I haven't done this, so we'll see. We shall see. Alright, so I think I'm going to try using a palette knife. I have a metal palette knife here, and I have a plastic palette knife. Let's see if we can't scoop some out here and put it on. So, that might be a little much. I just kind of want to... It doesn't need to be even or smooth or nice. It's just kind of... Sorry, I wish my camera like focused a little better. It kind of has like one point that it can focus on and then kind of stuck working at that point. Which is fine when I'm coloring a picture, but when I'm doing stuff I want to lift off the table. It's a little hard. Alright. So you can make this as thick or as thin as you want. I don't know, it might be a little thick. Let's try. I don't think I need it that thick, right? Okay, just kind of get it on there. I don't know. Might almost be easier with my finger. Okay, we'll let that dry and see what it does. And then we'll add some color to it. It's just to okay. Let's do the other one. I'm going to try just using my finger. I'm not afraid. Just stick my finger in there. My kids were painting one day. Just in their little, I don't even remember what they were painting. Maybe it was, I think it was just watercolors. They were painting and the younger one has paint all over him, you know, all over his hands. And I mean, he was like 2 at the time. So he's got paint all over him. And the older one, like 5 at the time, he says, "It's okay. Mom gets paint all over her when she paints too." I was like, well, geez. But I think I'm not afraid to just get in, get my fingers dirty. It'll wash off, and if it doesn't, it'll wear off. It's fine. It's not gonna kill me. So that, using my fingers, gave it a smoother, but still some texture, but just not as big. So I don't know. I guess it depends on what you want. Kind of try to dot some more on there. Kind of like the look with my finger. It was easier. Okay. Set that there and that one there. I've zoomed in. I hope I'm staying in frame here. Okay. Let's take our third one here. Alright, yeah, I kind of like doing it with my finger actually. Use a palette knife or a brush or whatever you want, but I don't know, I feel like I have a little more control. Okay, that gives us, I'm gonna go back to that first one and see if I can't use my finger to, he's gonna be thicker. Alright, well, we will let them dry and then we'll come back to them. So, yeah, see you in a minute. Alright, so they are dry. This is the one we used the palette knife with. It's quite a bit thicker than the other ones. I thought we'd paint it so we can see what the difference is. So I have a couple of different paints. This is what I used on these. And it is kind of a, this is from Artco. Or myartsy.com. I got it at Michael's. And it is very thick and it's like almost putty consistency. Like I can bring out like a ball of it or really thin. And so it's very, I don't know, it's like putty. And then I also am getting a baby wipe. I also have these. These are Deco Metallics paints. And they're like $2 or under $2 each. They're very cheap. This one is Emperor's Gold and this one is Royal Ruby. And then I also have bronze and copper. I think these came in a Smart Art box when I was getting that. I don't get that anymore. Thought about it again, but haven't done it. So, I don't know, we'll try a couple of these. I have, when I used this last time, I noticed that I wasn't getting a lot of color. I don't know, we'll see. We'll try some. We'll try both. Okay. So I let these dry. I did use a heat gun on them to kind of help them dry. So let's see here. I'm going to use, this is just a craft cheap paintbrush. It's dry. I don't have any water on it or anything. Well, let's just go for it, right? Let's try a couple of these. I can never get the plastic off of these things. I don't know, I'm like handicapped or something. So I always just twist it and keep the wrapper on. I don't know. My dad gets after me for it. Okay, so this is the Emperor Gold. And we'll just put some on our dry paintbrush there and we'll see what it does. Oh yeah. On that texture. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. All right, so we got 8 of these things we can play with and try different colors to see what we like the best. Okay. A little more right there. Alright, so that gave it, and it glistens, has a nice shine to it. So that's one color. That was the Emperor Gold. And then let's try, should we try the putty one? The one I did with the putty before, I used a baby wipe. I just wrapped a baby wipe around my finger and smeared it on there. I don't know if that's gonna do what we want with the texture. Well, kind of pat it on. It's gonna rip the baby wipe up though. Let's try with the paintbrush. Oh yeah, we'll just use a paintbrush. This came in different colors. I just got the one to try. This is the copper. Again, I just got this at Michael's. I did not see it on Amazon. I was looking on Amazon to see if I could find other colors, but okay, so there's that one. I kind of like it. It's really pretty. I'm partial to that copper color though. Alright, my husband is messaging me. I gotta figure out what he needs. I'll be right back. Okay, so I really like that copper color. I think that's really pretty. I'll set it aside to maybe use on another one. So I've got Royal Ruby and Bronze. I have copper, but since this one is copper, I don't think I'm gonna use that one. So let's do Royal Ruby on here and see what it looks like. Wipe my brush off a little bit. Alright. This looks like a very similar color to the copper. Ooh, it's more opaque than the gold was. All right, that one is really pretty too. So there's the three. That's really similar color though, don't you think? I wonder what their copper looks like if this is ruby red, because that is so close. Let's see their copper. I don't know. I just want to see what the difference is. Okay, so this is copper. So it seems more translucent with just copper sparkles in it. And then the ruby red. They are way close, don't you think? I don't know. The ruby red seems like it's not as translucent, it's a little more opaque, has a little more to it than the copper, but they're very similar colors. Let's do one with the copper. I wasn't going to, but now I'm curious. We'll just remember. Okay, so we got gold, got the copper paste, ruby red, and this one's going to be the copper paint. So it almost seems like a watered down version of the ruby red. It's so close in color, but it's just not as pigmented or something. Doesn't have as much to it. Interesting. See, it's 3. I like it though. All right. And let's see what the bronze looks like, if it's real similar. I'm nervous about it. This looks like it might be a little more orange. Let's see. Which personally I wouldn't think as bronze as being more orange. I would think of bronze being more brown, more cooler than copper, a cooler color. More of a, yeah, this is not what I would picture if I was asked which one of these is bronze, I would not pick this one. Interesting. It's a pretty color, it's just I wouldn't call it bronze. Alright, so let me see how this is. So those are the paints. So we have, this is Emperor Gold, and this is the Ruby Red, or Royal Ruby. This is, sorry, Emperor Gold, Royal Ruby, Copper, and Bronze. That is not bronze. But okay. Alright. Whatever floats their boat. And then this is the paste. So which one's your favorite? I don't know. I really like this color, I just wouldn't call it bronze. So, I don't know. Alright, I've got 3 more to paint. I'll just use some of these colors again and paint them, and then we'll see if we can't get a saying on them and put a ribbon on them. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back prematurely. I haven't finished painting them. I did pull one more paint that I have. This is Golden Heavy Body Artist Quality paint, and it's in the color Iridescent Gold Fine, and it is a much more expensive paint than these. This is like a $2 paint. This is like $12. But I just wanted to look how pretty that is on there. I think that is gorgeous. So this is that $2 gold paint, which, I mean, you could probably put another layer on there and build it up a little bit, and maybe I will. But I just love how much this shines. This is beautiful. Anyways, just so you can see, I'll finish painting and then I'll be back. Okay, so they're painted, and now I want to put like a little saying. So this one I put Merry Christmas, but it does hang over, and because we put that texture there, I think we need to go with something that'll be a little smaller so we're not printing over the texture. And so this one says Merry Christmas, and it's just a little peel and stick stamp, and then I just have some Ranger Archival black ink, and it's getting dry, so let's hope you can get enough out of there to finish these. So just stamp it. I'm gonna put a little hot air on it, and then I'm gonna stamp it down there, press and hold it for a minute. It says Merry Christmas. So I'll do that again. Stamp it in there in the ink, blow on it with some hot air, stamp and hold it down there. Merry Christmas. And then I have another one that I think will fit that says Jingle All the Way. So let's do that on this one. So I'm gonna put it in my ink. it and hold it for a few seconds. Jingle all the way. Kind of like Merry Christmas better, I think. What do you think? We could take like a pencil and kind of give it a little shadow of some sort. You know? I don't know. Anyways, those are the 2 stamps I have. I'm going to stamp the rest of them. I think I'll use the Merry Christmas. Those are the 2 that I have that are small enough. You could put it down here too, you wouldn't have to put it in the middle of them. Let's try putting one down there. Yeah, that's cute too. Or even up at the top. I wouldn't want to cover his face, but nobody's going to be comparing their tags, and so you can do and see which one you like. I kind of like it down at the bottom, actually. All right. I'm like making a pile of everything I use, so I remember to put it in the description box down below. So now I've got quite the pile over there. All right, then I think the last thing to do is just add a ribbon. So let's do that. So this is just some Christmas ribbon we put on a package. Just gonna measure out so much, I don't know. I just eyeball it. I fold it over so that I can kind of see, so I'm getting a double strand. Does that make sense? So it's doubled over, and then cut it. And then I'm gonna take the side where the fold is. I'm gonna fold it one more time. Make it as narrow as I can. Stick it through that hole there. And then just bring it up. And open it up. And then thread the ribbons through it. And then pull them tight. So you have a... Then you can leave them long, or because this ribbon is what it is, send it through the scissors and it will curl up. Just kind of becomes a cute little curly Q there at the top. Measure some out there, fold it in half, cut it. I think I made this one longer. Fold it in half again just so I can get it through that hole. If you feel like it's too long, you can trim it, or I'm just gonna, I think I made that one longer, but I'm just gonna curl it so it won't matter. Nice little curly cues. So then I'm just gonna call them finished. I think that is what I am leaving it with here. I like the way these turned out. I do like how the extra, I like the extra texture on the edges. I think that's fun. I think if I make more, I would definitely put the texture on them. And I like the glittery paint as well. The I'll show. Let me grab the ones I did before. Show a difference. You can paint the back, stain the paint back if you want, or just leave them. I don't know. Okay. So these are the ones we did today. This is what I did before. So that extra texture brings out the metallic and glitter in the paint too. So that's fun, because I think this one, is it this one? I think it's this one of these is the same paint as this paint. I think it's this paint. One of these, maybe it's that one, but just that extra texture on the paper is letting that shine and stuff come out, and I just like it. I think it adds a nice element to them. They turned out way cute. I'll attach them to my presents before I send them off in the mail. And yeah, so that's all I have for today. I hope you liked this. It was a craft rather than a coloring book, but I like to do a little of everything, so it was fun for me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I hope you guys have a great weekend with lots of fun holiday stuff and family and relaxation. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.